Alright, we got breaking news this morning, and it's probably some of the most interesting breaking news we've had in a while. The Miami Dolphins have released wide receiver Tyreek Hill. I kind of feel like we might have actually seen this one coming. I honestly don't know how this hasn't happened any sooner than what it has, but of course, Tyreek Hill is now an unrestricted free agent. And needless to say, the Dolphins are completely in full-blown rebuild mode. They've got the number 11 pick in the upcoming 2026 NFL Draft. I'm not really sure what this makes their salary cap situation look like, but needless to say, they're going to be building around the likes of a Devon Achane and maybe even Quinn Ewers, should that be the direction that they go. It's really hard to say at this point. I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily going to go quarterback with that number 11 pick. I mean, I know a lot of people are talking up Ty Simpson. But then again, we'll see once Combine comes around whether or not that winds up holding up. Or maybe they just sit back and find themselves in the Dante Moore sweepstakes for 2027. I mean, a lot of things certainly seem to be possible right now. I would like to think that if nothing else, I know that they didn't allow Trinidad Chambliss his eligibility, so maybe this could be an ideal landing spot for him at some point, be it through the draft or as an undrafted free agent. I don't know. I mean, it all depends on how all of that shapes up. I guess we'll find out with time, but yeah, this is incredibly interesting because, again, the signs were there. I mean, there was that press conference, or I shouldn't say press conference, but when I want to say he was in the locker room or wherever it was when he was actually talking to the media, he of course let it out that he'd actually be really okay with leaving the Dolphins at some point. I mean, he actually expressed significant frustration with the team. And understandably so, it didn't seem like they were going a whole lot of anywhere. And of course, Mike McDaniel had absolutely no control whatsoever when it came to the Tua situation. That really didn't do the Dolphins any favors, and I don't think that it really got all that much better at any point. It's just kind of crazy to think about right now. I feel like the writing was just on the wall about this. It was a matter of time before the Dolphins either traded him or released him. Now they're releasing him. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Jalen Waddle. A lot of people out here in Broncos country are really high on the idea of trading for him, which I'm not going to lie, I was actually on board with that when they talked about it going into the trade deadline, but obviously it didn't happen. Maybe it should this time around. I mean, who knows? It's really hard to imagine that Waddle will be sticking around in a Dolphins uniform either. I mean, it seems as if they're cleaning house at this point. New head coach Jeff Hafley, new general manager John Eric Sullivan, the tandem from Green Bay, by the way, they basically have their work cut out for them, and they're looking forward to rolling their sleeves up in this offseason. I mean, again, with the new league year coming up here in the next month or so, I feel like a lot is going to wind up happening. I mean, it's going to happen pretty much throughout the league regardless, but the Miami Dolphins just wound up becoming a bit of much-watched TV in their own right with this. I don't know any other way to look at it. And for me, they have needs pretty much across the board. I mean, I don't really think much of their offensive line. Defensively, they've proven capable. They brought back Minka Fitzpatrick during the off season, or it might have been early in the season, I don't know. But either way, they sent Jalen Ramsey back to bring him back. We'll see if he sticks around. Yeah, I don't know how any of this ends up in anything other than a full-blown rebuild. I mean, the Dolphins didn't really do themselves any favors, particularly with draft picks. I mean, guys like Kenneth Grant, who I feel like are going to be building blocks along with, again, Achan, maybe even Ewers, again, if that's the direction they choose to go. That's probably got to be your future of the franchise right there. I'm not looking at the Miami Dolphins roster right now, but a lot of the guys that you're seeing on there probably aren't going to be on there over the next couple of years. Like I said, I imagine Minkah Fitzpatrick is probably going to find his way up out of there, or at least I'd want to if I were him. I mean, it's going to be tough, but then again, maybe they keep him around because they're going to need some kind of a veteran voice. Who knows? It's just incredibly tricky right now if you're the Miami Dolphins, no matter what. Obviously, they're not going to be getting into the playoffs anytime within the next couple of years or so. I mean, it just really depends on the pieces they look to bring in, how they go about this rebuild. I mean, like I said, this new duo of Sullivan and Hafley, they don't have a very easy situation on their hands. I mean, it's not a terrible one. It's not overly bad or anything like that, but it's certainly not favorable, to say the very least. And I think they wound up accepting the offers, their respective offers from the Dolphins, knowing this to be the case, knowing that, of course, there's an awful lot to fix right now in Miami. I don't think there's any sugarcoating it, there's any ifs, ands, or buts about it. As stated, the Miami Dolphins are completely in rebuild mode, and it's obviously starting with this offseason, the new league year. I believe March. Let me take a look at that as I pull up my calendar. I believe the date that I have for that is March 16th or 17th. Or excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong calendar. So yeah, I guess it could be either the 16th or 17th. Either way, gonna be really interesting to watch. I really am looking forward just to the off season in general. I feel like off season football, while not nearly as enjoyable as actual football itself, it's definitely enjoyable for the fact that obviously you have an awful lot to talk about. Of course, we're going to have more videos regarding that. And of course, an awful lot of Broncos talk. I had a video I was going to upload for that I did over the night. But I'm a little bit fresher right now this morning. I'm going to come to you with a little bit of a fresher mind for that. And yeah, look forward to that. Also look forward to another video. I gotta ask this question because we just had the NBA All-Star Weekend this past weekend, and a week removed from Super Bowl weekend. I don't know. Does that need to be scrapped? What needs to happen with that whole thing? I mean, we'll get into that and a whole lot more as the day and the week progresses, but either way, let me know what y'all think down below. Where do you see Tyreek Hill going? And actually, before I go, that's one other thing. I actually caught the breaking news on ESPN's First Take. And of course, Stephen A. Smith wants to talk about he should go back to Kansas City. Why? I mean, I get it, Patrick Mahomes and everything, but he really isn't going to be there at the beginning of the season. In fact, realistically speaking, he shouldn't be available until about mid-season. Like, what's that going to do for him? I mean, I get it, get that band back together, but I don't see kicking the tires on that one. I mean, easy as it is for me to say, I'd rather see him in a Broncos uniform. I'm not sure how likely that's going to be, but the likes of even Baltimore or Buffalo make an awful lot more sense than that. I'm sorry, they just do. Hell, I would even go as far as saying the Cincinnati Bengals make more sense than the Kansas City Chiefs, but you know, that's just me saying that. Let me know what y'all think down below. Where do you see Tyreek Hill ending up, of course, and what do you see happening with the Dolphins here? Let me know all that down below. Help me out with that algorithm. Hit that like button, and of course share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Definitely need more help in that regard. So with that in mind, this has been your time with A&J, and I thank you for spending it.